Welcome to another episode of the Breezeway, everybody. I'm Steve Francis, and this is my sister, Lisa Pratt. Lisa, this is our last day down here in the Maritimes. Have you had a good time?
I have had a wonderful time. It's been great.
Now, this show was kind of a surprise. We've been working on it for a little bit of time, and finally, before we left, I'm glad that we've got the opportunity to have this show. These two gentlemen that we have here tonight are the finest of the East Coast, and I've seen them both play, both at the Johnny Burke Foundation fundraiser. What a show that was. Anybody, I've got a few clips of that as well on my wall at home. Now, we're going to get the music started right off, and then we're going to get a chance to ask these guys some questions, find out what has been going on down here in the East Coast. So, everybody, you know the routine. Hit the like button, hit the share button. We've got Jim and Terry. We're going to let you see who it is at home, and let us know where you're tuning in from. Jim and Terry, everybody.
Wasting away again to Margaritaville, searching for a mile, lost shaker of salt. Some people claim that there's a woman to blame, but I know it could be my fault. I don't know the reason, stayed here all season. There's nothing to show but this brand new tattoo. But it's a real beauty, a Mexican beauty. And how it got here, I haven't a clue. Wasting away again to Margaritaville, searching for a mile, lost shaker of salt. Some people claim that there's a woman to blame, but I know it be my fault. Well, let's show them a little guitar here. Blew up my flip-flop, stepped on a pop-top, and broke my leg twice, had a limp on back home. Ouch. But there's booze in the blender, and soon it will render that frozen concoction that helps me hang on. Hang on. Wasting away again to Margaritaville, searching for a mile, lost shaker of salt. Some people claim that there's a woman to blame. Well, I know it's my own damn fault. Some people claim that there's a woman to blame. Well, I know gotta be Terry's fault. That one's definitely my fault.
I actually got through that without missing a note. Wow.
That's great. You did a fine job there, Jim.
Great song, man.
Wow. Well, thank you. Those are classics, right? We can all remember when those came out. Some of us, were a little younger, but
some of us are a
just
lot
a little
younger.
bit.
Well, I don't know. Trying to think. You're more of a. See, he is younger than me, so I'm more of a classic country kind of guy. So
I'll have to prove you wrong and take out some old country here. So.
No, I've heard I've heard you do some of your classics as well. Ontario, you do a lot of French songs too. So
I do, yeah.
It's, yeah, it's got a good following with that. So before we went on air, we were just tossing some songs around. And now I got a George Strait song stuck in my head, and if anybody out there wants to put in a request, there Terry knows them all. So
for sure,
just putting it out there.
Oh, for
and
sure.
I'll slither out the back door for that one. No, if anybody has like I don't know any stuff that they might remember that I did on like on some of the COVID, I call them the COVID sessions. Back some of those videos that some people might remember and some of us might not. But anyway, if
and any French song, any French requests, please send them to Jim. So.
yeah, oh yeah, great. Oh, touche.
I heard you've been singing a lot of those too lately.
Anyway, this is a favorite George Strait song of mine that I really like. That I like story songs. Anybody again who's listened to some of my stuff, it's mostly it's got to have some kind of story behind it. And as I hit 60, this song kind of just meant a little bit more. So. I still feel 25. Most of the time, I still raise a little Cain with the boys. Honky tonks and pretty women, I'm still right up there with them, singing above the crowd and the noise. And sometimes I feel like Jesse James, still trying to make a name, knowing nothing's gonna change who I am. I was a young troubadour when I wrote in on a song, and I'll be an old troubadour when I'm gone. Know the truth about a mirror. Well, that damned old mirror don't really show the whole truth. It doesn't show what's deep inside or read between the lines, and it's really no exception of my youth. Sometimes I feel like Jesse James, still trying to make a name, knowing nothing's gonna change who I am. I was a young troubadour when I wrote in on a song, and I'll be an old troubadour when I'm gone. Be an old troubadour when I'm gone. Thanks, guys. Thanks, Terry.
Yeah, nice. Very nice. Oh, so that's going to be bouncing song.
This is kind of cool, bouncing stuff off.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. And,
Okay. This is like a kitchen jam.
it's like a kitchen jam, just like without the beer. That's all. But that's okay. We'll make up for it on this weekend.
That we can.
We'll
yeah.
Well, it's okay. Earlier on, we were talking about influences, and anyways, I always like to play some Alabama. And so, how about we do one? This one's closer to bluegrass, I think, and I did play with you on the stage once, St. Anthony. So,
Yes.
I believe High Cotton. That's off their album in '89. Their Southern Star. I always love this song. So, well, we won't modulate. We'll just keep it simple for us. So,
I love
TV.
It. I love it.
All right. We didn't know the times were lean. Round our house the grass is green. It didn't seem like things were all that bad. I bet we walked 1,000 miles, chopping cotton and pushing plows. learning how to give it all we had. As life went on and years went by, I saw the light in Daddy's eyes, felt the love in Mama's hands. They kept us warm and kept us fed, taught us how to look ahead. And now looking back, I understand. We were walking in high cotton, old times they are not forgotten. Those fertile fields are never far away. We were walking in high cotton, old times they are not forgotten. Leaving home was the hardest thing we ever faced. As Sunday mornings rolled around, we dressed up in hand-me-downs, just in time to gather with the church. Sometimes I think how long it's been, how it impressed me then. It was the only day my daddy wouldn't work. We were walking in high cotton, old times they are not forgotten. Those fertile fields are never far away. We were walking in high cotton, old times they are not forgotten. Leaving home was the hardest thing we ever faced. Everybody over there on the camera. We were walking high cotton, old times they are not forgotten. Those fertile fields are never far away. We were walking in high cotton, old times they are not forgotten. Leaving home was the hardest thing we ever faced. We were walking in high cotton. All right, thank you, Jim.
Jim
Nice
Collette, Terry Melanson. That was great, guys.
That's awesome.
We pulled that right up.
Yes, we did.
Now,
Surprising ourselves here today.
now, have you guys had a chance to sit down and jam together like this before?
No.
We have, like Terry was saying, we have shared a stage together before. Either when he'd be doing something with Flo, or a couple of times with the trio that I play with.
That's right. Yeah.
Terry's come up and joined us a few times. So, and then with the Johnny Burke shows, you get to jam in the afternoon and stuff. So I'm gonna slug here.
Like,
Terry's all yours.
you guys did a great job. That the Johnny Burke show was off the charts. It was great. Jim, I would like to know where you got your influences from, and how young were you when you knew that this is super cool. I want to get at this.
That's kind of a funny story, because when people ask me that, the first time I was on stage, actually, I was 8 years old. I was at a talent show with my mom, and I was 8, and we won first prize, and I still have the $5 bill that we won at 8 years old. Yeah. So I can still remember the song too. It was "How Far Is Heaven," an old Kitty Wells song.
Now, influences, like, was it a family influence?
From Hank to Hendrix.
Good music.
My mom raised us on Hank Williams, and my dad was a big Hank Snow fan. My sister taught me how to play guitar, and from there I got into bluegrass. Probably I was around 15 or so. Through high school it was the normal Neil Young, James Taylor, that type of thing. So somebody told me one time I had big ears just because I listened to everything. I'll listen to some good classical. But country music and good bluegrass music. I'm a big fan of harmonies. Harmony voices, just wow. Nothing like it.
No, and a little exceptional with the bluegrass, really.
But that's what drew me to the bluegrass. Like, I can still remember the first bluegrass song I heard was "A Seldom Seen," which was really a more current bluegrass band. I mean, we'd been raised on the Louvin Brothers. My mom and uncle used to sing the Louvin Brothers stuff all the time. But the very first real bluegrass I heard was "A Seldom Seen," that was a record album that my cousin had found at a yard sale, and just blew me away. I never went back. I played bluegrass all my life. Never did anything else. So now I'm here.
Yeah, great job.
There's always been. I mean, all-time country has always been my foundation. I'll still go home and listen to a good Hank Williams hurtin' tune. So.
Well, you can get that country music and bluegrass so much crossover that it's
it definitely is. Now.
it is
Yeah.
now some bluegrass. It's not crossover. It's bluegrass. I know. I know that they're a little.
Again, that depends. I mean, like all music has changed over the generations and the decades. I mean, all music is different now. If you look at the country I grew up listening to, well, it's not the country they're listening to today. I'm not taking anything away from it, but it's just different. And bluegrass as well. I mean, bluegrass had to change or it wouldn't have survived.
Yeah. Some good bluegrass out right now.
Most definitely is.
Yeah, Terry, where did you get your influences from, and what triggered you to say, "Hey, this is something that I've got to do"?
Well, that's an interesting question. Kind of like Jim, I grew up. My parents, way back we had LPs and 8-track tapes, and they listened to a lot of old country. So there was George Jones, Merle Haggard, Charlie Pride. You might have had some Hank Senior in there, and of course I was mixed in with some French country and western. So Julie, les Frères Duguay, the Mighty Kings. So all of the French Quebec country that was also prominent in our household. But growing up in Moncton, we were lucky to have cable, so. My father would always have that Nashville network on, and that's back in the days when Ralph Emery had his live show every night. So I was a teenager watching that, and I'm thinking, oh, look at all these upcoming country artists. And that's where I first saw Randy Travis. I thought, wow, wouldn't that be fun to do like him, right? But so I was still a little bit shy growing up and never thought I'd go on the stage. So when first few years, and depending where I still get up on stage, sometimes the knees shake a little bit, but it's natural. I think that's say when you're passionate about it, it's good to have a little nerves before you go up on stage or sing for people. But yeah, a lot of my influences, I'd say a little more of the newer country. So it would have been like Randy Travis, Alabama for sure. I'm thinking Glenn Campbell as well. So many fine artists.
I call that classic.
Well, to me, but that's more like the neo country. So a little 90s, Brooks and Dunn kind of stuff. I do that stuff too. So yeah.
But that's all good music.
Still all fine country.
That's some good music.
You got to search a little harder today to find that. I don't know if it's the soul that's in country music or what it is really, but you got to search for it a little harder nowadays than what it was.
And I don't think that's not saying that it's still not there. It's just different than what like what I grew up being used to. My son sends me stuff all the time, and he goes, "This is the country music I'm listening to now." And I'm going, okay, but it's not what I grew up listening to, but there's still some really good music out there, Of course, Chris Stapleton, of course. I mean, and I remember when Chris Stapleton was playing bluegrass music, but just phenomenal songwriter and singer. Jamie Johnson just blows me away.
Oh, yeah. I think of some other singers, one more recent, like Cody Johnson. Another one's very country, Wow. Yeah. There is some out there, and I mean, there's some that are really off the wall until you dig into their CDs. And is this good? Yeah, I'm a rookie. Usually my voice is so loud I have to sit a foot back on the microphone. So if I get my mustache caught in this, it's your fault. Yeah, that's what it is. Yeah.
Are they saying anything?
Yeah, they're just saying they can't hear Jim. Yeah. So, which is a rarity in my house.
I do have a request.
My wife is watching this right now, going, "That ain't no way that's happening." Yeah.
Was the one who was saying she couldn't hear you.
Yeah. Oh, no kidding. Well, the dogs are yelping. So.
I do have a request, though, for all the ladies out there that are watching on Facebook. If Terry could do one in French when it's your turn, one of your songs.
Sure.
You've wrote quite a few.
Okay, see, I'll do.
Let's throw it back over to you guys, and we'll do some more songs there, and we'll come back in and ask some more questions. How's that?
Sure.
All right, Jim and Terry, everybody.
All right, so the one I'll do here is a friend of mine, Charlie Burke, wrote this one. I think he was thinking about or contemplating a changing career. So I'll just translate it loosely for you, for those who don't understand French. But it's a song about changing careers. He calls it Ma Carrière, which is my new career. And maybe it's not the career everyone would choose. He went from, working to maybe having a few drinks every night. So he called it my new career, drinking beer every night. But so anyways, it's a fun little song. It's meant to be a little funny, right? So, anyways, it goes a bit like this. It usually has fiddles, so we'll have to.
I'm going to let you sit on that one by yourself, Terry.
Okay, sure.
Get all tangled up in the...
Oh, sure. That's fine. It's fine. I can do it alone, yeah. So usually fiddle is pretty dominant there, but anyways, I can still do a good acoustic, and it's fine. I will put the cape over this time, though.
In case I get brave.
That's all good. So, song called My Carrière, and if some of you looking for my music, you can find it on all digital platforms, including YouTube, iTunes, Spotify, all those. And you will find the song here called My Carrière. Quand j'étais jeune, j'ai essayé de jouer de la balle et du hockey. Ma courte carrière a tout fini quand j'ai tombé, cassant ma cheville. Je m'ai marié, j'ai bien pensé qu'une belle famille est ce que je veux. Après 6 ans d'être marié, ma belle petite femme, elle m'a laissé. La seule carrière que j'ai pu faire, c'est de boire de la bière à tous les soirs. Pas trop fier ni trop prospère, mais boire de la bière, c'est ma carrière. Les 2 enfants que j'ai pas connus, mais j'ai payé pour comme ma femme le veut. Le juge m'a dit, tu payeras ça, moitié de ma paye à tous les mois. J'ai travaillé pour des années, finalement une job que j'ai aimé. Mais après 10 ans de mon service, cette compagnie, elle a fait faillite. La seule carrière que j'ai pu faire, c'est de boire de la bière à tous les soirs. Pas trop fier ni trop prospère, mais boire de la bière, c'est ma carrière. Oui, ça va mal, ça a pas de bon sens. Tu sais que j'ai de reste, c'est de la boisson. Je prends courage, ça sera bientôt venu. L'enveloppe brune et si tamboulée. La seule carrière que j'ai pu faire, c'est boire de la bière à tous les soirs. Pas trop fier ni trop prospère, mais boire de la bière, c'est ma carrière. La seule carrière que j'ai pu faire, c'est de boire la bière à tous les soirs. Pas trop fier ni trop prospère, mais boire la bière, c'est ma carrière. Ah, je pense que je vais prendre une bière. You might have understood. Bière, beer, same word. Means the same thing. Thank you.
Never met one I didn't like.
Well, that's right. A friend of mine would always say, Terry, my favorite beer is one that's open.
When it's open. when it's free.
It's even better, right?
My favorite beer is when it's free. Cool song, Terry.
Well, thank you.
Yeah. You've got quite a following too, like in this area, like
Well, yeah. A
you know,
few, especially
especially in French and everything.
Yes, yeah.
I was raised Anglo, even though I am Acadian.
But you do speak good French too. Right? In conversation, yeah.
That's another whole long story. Is that I was probably 19 or 20 years old before I started speaking French. We moved.
Really?
We moved into a small little, like the town my mom was raised, born and raised. We moved there when I was 15. So everybody there spoke French. My dad had a small store, so it was like, do it or get off the pot, And so yeah, it took me a while, but a lot of it is just getting over the hurdle of just speaking in a different language. So, but then I've been stuck in Mexico for 4 or 5 weeks at a time, and when you don't speak Spanish, it's no fun. So
say, hola, ¿cómo está? Cerveza.
Cerveza, por favor. And,
por favor.
that's about it, yeah.
Cerveza.
They get you through a lot of warm nights. Geez, I'm going to try. First time I introduced this song, I said it was a Mel Gibson song, and then somebody politely reminded me that Mel Gibson's not much of a singer. So, I've never heard him. I mean, maybe he is, but it turns out this was an old Mel Street song called "Borrowed Angel." This is a pretty popular song for me. Yeah, it's a pretty popular song in this area, but I like it. I hope you guys do. So, I know can you kick that one off for me, buddy?
Key of G, right?
Key of G's fine. Yeah.
1, 2, 1, 2.
Well, her fingers feel so gentle with her hand in mine. Her hair feels like silk on my arm, and her lips tell me so tenderly she's mine alone. Until we part tonight and she goes home. And borrowed angels belongs to someone else. I love my borrowed angel, I just can't help myself. That ring on her finger, it don't belong to me. But she loves me, and I know she'll save some borrowed time for me. And I wish that I could have her for more than just one night. We can't go on like this, it isn't right. But when that lonesome feeling comes knocking on my door, I'll call my borrowed angel to heal my pain once more. And borrowed angel belongs to someone else. I love my borrowed angel, I just can't help myself. That ring on her finger, it don't belong to me. But she loves me, and I know she'll save some borrowed time for me. But she loves me, and I know she'll save some borrowed time for me. Thank you. Oh, I bet, huh? What, you haven't heard Get Off and Stay Off yet? When I first started playing music, we used to play this little tavern in Moncton. It was called the El Toro. And so I don't know, that's a little bit before. You know where Cheers is? You know where Cheers is now? It was this little hole in the wall called the El Toro. And that's what a popular request was, get off and stay off. And they check you at the door for a knife and a gun and give you one if you didn't have it. So
there were a couple of bars in the in the history of Moncton where some barroom brawls. I've witnessed a few. I think the best one is when I was off one afternoon. There was a matinee, so the drummer and I were just having a pitcher draft, and a couple guys fell on our table, just out of the blue, and then
seen that happen.
Yeah. Seen worse than that, but
that's classic.
I don't think
country
you can say
right
live.
there.
But that's classic country. People fall on you.
They've written good songs about that type of bar. So
we're still good for some songs. Okay, great. I think since I'm warmed up, I might do one of Johnny's songs. I just do one, to be honest. It's the one I re-recorded, "Judge My Soul Again."
Oh,
so
great.
I won't modulate. I'll just keep it where it is. But
such a good job on that, man.
Oh, thanks. I might need your help on this one, Jim. Just do a little guitar and harmony, if you wish. Yeah. She knelt by the bed, held his cold, trembling hand. He whispered to her softly, "Sweetheart, this is the end." I'll be waiting for you, darling. You just take your time. And if I go to heaven, I'll thank God He made you mine. If I'm up in heaven and you come to the gate, just suppose the Lord should tell you that you have to wait. Yes, if you come up to heaven and they wouldn't let you in, I'd get down on my knees and I'd pray, Lord, please judge my soul again. No, I just don't want to be here, Lord, if you can't let her in. So I'm on my knees and I'm praying, Lord, please judge my soul again. Perhaps at the last moment you overlook some little sin. So I'm on my knees and I'm praying, Lord, please judge my soul again. I know you offer love, Lord, and your love has no end. But I just don't want to be here, Lord, if I can't see her again. So she comes up to heaven, and they couldn't let her in. I'd get down on my knees and I'd pray, Lord, please judge my soul again. No, I just don't want to be here, Lord, if you can't let her in. So I'm on my knees and I'm praying, Lord, please judge my soul again. Perhaps at the last moment you overlook some little sin. So I'm on my knees and I'm praying, Lord, please judge my soul again. I'm on my knees and I'm praying, Lord, please judge my soul again. Thank you. Thank you, sir.
That's wow.
Thank you.
Oh, Teresa's watching? Hi, Teresa.
Yeah, hi. Hi again.
Have they made it
You
home?
can't get rid of
They
me,
made-
apparently.
They made it home. They made it home safe and sound and all that good stuff. Or? Good to hear. Good to hear. What a great time on Friday night. I'll tell you. Wow. Yeah. Can't thank her enough. I really can't.
It really was a high caliber musicianship, singers as well. We were sitting
What
at a table with Flo
what a-
Durrell, and I was telling you know what?
What a time.
I was telling her I get the jitters today. I said, like, the caliber singers here tonight is quite up there.
I was saying the same thing.
You're saying the same things? I'm almost scared to go on that stage. But yeah, it all turned out very well, to be honest.
When you're up on the stage and you turn around and you see Coco behind you there, and it's just like, wow, man, they just don't get no better than this. Like, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And of course, coming from bluegrass, that's been Friday night was the 7th time in my life I've had a drummer behind me.
Wow.
In all the shows I've played, that's this. I keep track of drummers now because it's been the 7th time, not counting karaoke because that doesn't count, and I'm not really good at karaoke, but it's actually the 7th time. Bluegrass has no drums and no electric bass the most of the time. Although in the 50s, I think it was there was two brothers that used the drums. They used drums and all kinds of good stuff. So, where are we at? Oh, it's not me again, is it? Oh, geez, okay.
I believe it's your turn, yes.
You did a Johnny Burke one, so. Did a Johnny Burke one. I'll do the one I did. I'll do the one I did Friday night.
Well, that's right. You had another one there, Wild Honey.
Yeah,
Is that the one
Johnny.
you were thinking about?
No, I'm
No,
not
another
going to
one.
do Wild
Oh,
Honey
that's right,
because I
you did.
keep getting tangled up in the words of it. And since Teresa's watching, I went on send me a note going, you messed that one up fine, didn't you?
Like I said, I can't help you on that one because I had to ask you for the words.
I know.
So I can't help you.
That's got to be. I don't know how Johnny did. That's one of the hardest songs that I've ever had to learn how to sing because the two verses rhyme together and you can intermix all 4 lines from each verse. So no matter how hard you try, if you don't have the words in front of you, you know you're going to mess it up. So God bless him. He could get through that one. But this is one that he did that was always one of my favorites. Was an old Johnny Paycheck, and of course, Johnny always did that classic country so well. And I learned this one just for the show, so now I'm going to see if I can remember the words. I better pull the words up to that. So Terry, tell them a nice little anecdote from the Terry Melanson thing and.
From the thing, I don't know. You mean more about me? Or you mean, okay, well maybe so. I maybe didn't start off as young as you, but I think I was in my teens before I started singing. But
yeah, me too.
You know what? One thing people might not know: for the longest time, I sang only in English. Up until about 20 years ago, we started this French folk Acadian band called Akaja, and then I started, dabbling into the French more folk type songs. Did a couple albums with those guys. We had a great time for a good 11, 12 years or so.
Wow.
And after that, I said, no, I got to try something different. And that was when I said, well, I have this dream of perhaps doing a solo album. So I saved my money, and my wife and I, we went for a couple trips to Nashville and recorded my album in 2 installments, if you want to say.
Is that where you recorded in Nashville?
Yep. Yeah,
wow,
Beard Music Group.
That's
and
pretty
actually,
cool.
actually, the owner of the studio, Larry Beard, worked with Randy Travis quite a bit.
Yeah.
The song "Three Wooden Crosses," the finger style guitar, he's the guy who owns the studio.
No kidding.
So it was quite an honor to be there. I talked to this guy, and I was in his office, and he had this framed picture with him and Randy, just 2 guitars working on a song. And I'm thinking, what am I doing here?
Yeah.
You get that feeling, the jitters. But they treat you really professionally, just like, you're one of them. And
yeah, I never got to Nashville. I got to Virginia. There was a really good bluegrass recording studio in Fairham, Virginia called Dubuchet. And Dubuchet got well known as doing most of the bluegrass albums, like all the Allison Krauss, and that's where they all got their start in Fairham, Virginia. Prettiest place you've ever seen up in the mountains, just absolutely gorgeous. So, never got to Nashville. I've been to Nashville a couple of times. I got to play down there at the Bluegrass Awards a couple of times. My claim to fame is I did play at the Station Inn, but I was so nervous I forgot that I was there. So, oh man, I tell you, you talk about a heart-stopping experience is to play at the Station Inn. Good memories, though. That'd be my one do-over. They always say if you could have one do-over because I was so nervous. Wow. Yeah, that's a few years back. So,
anyway, feeling when you were some of those pros, and you kind of
you
wonder what am I doing here? But
you only appreciate them, after you're back home, and you think, holy, geez, did that really happen? And we did the Opry tour, so I got to sing in the Opry, but nobody else heard me but my wife. But you got to stand in that, little circle. That was
lucky you.
Yeah, that was the important part. Is that I always thought if I ever got to the Opry, I'd sing like a Hank Williams. I Saw the Light or something like that. So, yeah, what a memory. Anyway, less talking and more. My wife is on there typing, going, "Tell him to shut up now." Right? Yeah. All right. The mayor gave me the key to the city, the welcome wagon already appeared. But again, I'll be packing and leaving, 'cause it's plain now that you once lived here. It may be that I'll never forget you, 'cause your love, and love lives everywhere. It may be that I'll always be saying, I gotta go now, 'cause you once lived here. I see your face in the cool of the evening. I hear your voice in each breeze, loud and clear. But there must be a town without your memory, but not this one, 'cause you once lived here. No, not this one, 'cause you once lived here.
Jim Collette, Terry Melanson. Wow.
Incredible, fellas.
Wow, that is awesome.
Did you hear that song before, Terry? Do you recognize that?
Vaguely.
Vaguely?
Say, yeah.
I'm not sure I did. I heard you that Friday. You did that one Friday?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's an old Johnny Paycheck song. But even I mean, I've listened to both versions, and I just still think that Johnny's version was so much nicer. There was a timbre to his voice when he sang that song, just tear your heart out. So, which he did with a lot of his stuff,
Did you get to meet Johnny by chance?
I did. Actually, I met him a couple of times, a few times. But there's a funny story with Johnny Burke is actually my mother-in-law's cousin, and they were quite close growing up. So we were playing a bluegrass festival in Haliburton, Ontario. Ray and I, Ray Legier and I could see Johnny standing over by the fence, so I knew who he was, but he had no clue who I was. So I walked over to him, and he just kind of looks at me. He says, "Man," he says, "your voice takes up a lot of room." So, and so that's what we met. And I said, "Well, I appreciate that coming from you." But then I started telling him who I was and our relationship and that. So I didn't get to spend half as much time with him as I wish I could have. I think he was probably starting to be ill at that time. And but when we were playing in around that area, him and Teresa, they were always coming out and supporting Ray and I, or me and the band. Back then we had a bluegrass band. But listen to every one of his CDs. I probably saw them years ago, like when they used to play in Oshawa at the I think it was the Corral.
The Corral, yeah,
Oshawa?
yeah.
Back in the day of him and Harold, and so I'm sure I must have at one time or another.
The Corral just closed down recently, just after COVID, but it was a long-standing running bar in Oshawa for a long time.
A lot of great names came through those doors. So
now, if anybody at home wanted to get a hold of you, gentlemen, is Facebook Messenger about the best way to get a hold? Do you got any?
For me, yeah.
Definitely is. Yes,
I'm not as
sought after, Jim. Is that
not as computer?
Oh, computer set.
Computer. He's got YouTube pages and.
Well, that's right. There's several ways, but yeah, I'd say like on Facebook, they just need to find Terry Melanson -music, and they'll find me with a picture of a cowboy hat. I think it's even this black one I'm wearing. So if you see this face here, you found me. So.
And everybody at home, I'd like you to hit the like button, hit the share button, but most of all, let us know where you're tuned in from. These guys would like to know how far this music reaches out, and show a little love on there, and hit the share button too.
We have a couple requests come in, and for Jim, it's Long Black Veil.
Oh wow!
And for Terry, 3 Wooden Crosses.
What a great!
Oh wow!
What a great!
I'll have to think
song.
that one over. It's been a while, but
Long black veil. Where'd that come? That must be
No, we can't. We
That's gotta
can't
be from Teresa.
Well, he got it right off the bat.
Is it? My favorite Lefty Frizzell song. 10 years ago, on a cold, dark night, there was someone killed beneath the town hall light. There were few at the scene, but they all agree that the slayer who ran looked a lot like me. The judge said, son, what is your alibi? If you were somewhere else, then you won't have to die. And I spoke not a word, though it meant my life, for I'd been in the arms of my best friend's wife. And she walks these hills in a long black veil. She visits my grave when the night winds wail. And nobody knows, nobody sees, nobody knows but me. The scaffold was high, and eternity near. She stood in the crowd, though she shed not one tear. Oh, but sometimes at night, when the cold wind moans in a long black veil, Lord, she cries o'er my bones. She walks these hills in a long black veil. She visits my grave when the night winds wail. And nobody knows, nobody sees, nobody knows but me. Nobody knows, and nobody sees, nobody knows but me. Thanks, Teresa. I'm so glad they got home safe. That's a long haul after the busy week they've had. So, and Maggie too. Didn't get to see them too much this time. Usually they get this. They'll spend a couple of days with us at home, and every time Teresa comes to my house, she breaks her foot. So I suppose that's probably why she didn't want to stay. Okay. I thought no, I'm not lying. The first place when she came to visit us, I guess for the first Johnny Burke show, we had them kind of bunked in the basement, and I don't know what happened, but she literally broke her foot. She hadn't been here for like 3 days, and I'm like, oh god, so, not a good way to get to meet family.
Wow. Oh, nice.
What do you got, buddy?
We're going through requests, right?
You
guess we opened that door and we said, I guess we have to do our best here. Here's one I used to sing it quite a bit years ago. It's been years, but anyways, we can give it a shot, I guess. 3 Wooden Crosses, right? That's what I heard. Ooh, that's a powerful song. So keep C. All right, we'll see how it goes. farmer and teacher, hooker and a preacher, riding on a midnight bus bound for Mexico. One was headed for vacation, one for higher education. Two of them were searching for lost souls. That driver ever saw a stop sign, and 18-wheelers can't stop on a dime. There are 3 wood crosses on the right side of the highway. Why there's not 4 of them, heaven only knows. I guess it's not what you take when you leave this world behind you. It's what you leave behind you when you go. That farmer left to harvest a home and 80 acres. Faith and love for going things in his young son's hearts. And that teacher left her wisdom in the minds of lots of children. Do the best to give them all a better shot. And that preacher whispered, can you see the promised land? He laid his blood-stained Bible in that hooker's hand. There are 3 wooden crosses on the right side of the highway. Why there's not 4 of them, heaven only knows. I guess it's not what you take when you leave this world behind you. It's what you leave behind you when you go. That's the story that our teacher told last Sunday, as he held that blood-stained Bible up for all of us to see. He said, bless the farmer and the teacher and the preacher. I gave this Bible to my mama, who read it to me. There are 3 wooden crosses on the right side of the highway. While there's not 4 of them, now I guess we know. It's not what you take when you leave this world behind you. It's what you leave behind you when you go. There are 3 wooden crosses on the right side of the highway. Thank you, Jeff.
Great job.
Thank you for
That's
carrying me here.
That's a
That
hard.
was a long time ago, but
It's a hard song. It's a hard song to do.
well, thank you.
That's such a moving song. Especially
Very powerful song, yeah.
I don't know, when you went down to Nashville, did you drive down in
The first time drove down, and after that I said, no, that 25 hours is too long, so then we flew there.
I
lot faster that way.
I used to work along the eastern seaboard, and it's quite often you would see 3 wooden crosses like along the interstate, and
Yes.
the song always comes to your head. You know, it's so I'm pretty sure that's probably where they got it. You know, somewhere.
Yeah.
And there's a story about the first one, and I can't remember it right at this moment. There's a story about the very first set, and it was in West Virginia. I can't remember the story now. It was told to me by some friends of mine who lived down there. So, yeah.
Yeah.
So
Some powerful songs out there.
there is. I don't know what to do.
Should we pick up the rhythm a little bit, or?
Yeah, you got something. You got something a little up tempo.
I'll have to look.
All I do
While
is
you sing, I'll
all I
search
do
for
is
something.
sing these slow hurting songs. So, yeah. These, let me see if I can find something here that's not. How's the request thing going? Anybody? Is there some?
I hope they don't get any harder.
Yeah, Marty Robbins. I leave that. I
Yeesh, yeah.
don't let the old man in. That's from you. That's not picking up the tempo at all. That's that because then.
Is it that
Was
Toby
it John?
Keith song?
How was it? John Prine introduced a song one time. That's one that starts out slow and just fizzles out real quick. So it is a It is a beautiful song, though. That's one of those songs that just stops you in your tracks, like, you know, and that I'd watched the movie The Mule with Clint Eastwood, and that's what that song was based on. I mean, there's nobody who watched, you know, the awards show when Toby sang it, yeah, that you just knew that, you know, it wasn't so. Don't let the old man in. I wanna live some more. Can't leave it up to him. He's knocking on my door. And I don't all of my life that someday would end. Get up and go outside. Don't let the old man in. Many moons I have lived. My body's weathered and worn. Just ask yourself how old you'd be if you didn't know the day you were born. Try to love on your wife and stay close to your friends. Toast each sundown with wine. Don't let the old man in. Many moons I have lived. This body's weathered and worn. Just ask yourself how old you'd be if you didn't know the day you were born. When he rides up on his horse, you feel that cold, bitter wind. Look out your window and smile. Don't let the old man in. Look out your window and smile. Don't let the old man in. Thank you. The most incredible line in that song is, like, imagine how old you'd be if you didn't know the day you were born. And when you think about that line, it just, you know, it just stops you right in your tracks. Like, oh, you know, when they call you a kid, maybe sometimes it's not a bad thing. So,
Wow.
but thank you. That's what a great song. You gotta wonder how people write, because I'm not a writer. I know that Terry has written some songs and that, and I've always been like a translator of other people's songs, and I follow songwriters like, you know, Guy Clark and Townes Van Zandt and guys like that, and I just want to unscrew the top of their head and, you know, see how they do it, because I've never been able to write a song, but
I'm a Tom T. Hall fan, and some of the. Do you have a favorite line, Terry, in a song that just it stuck to you? Like, there's just one of those catchphrases that.
Wow.
You know, like don't let the old man in, and
I've got one better than that. That I think, to me, the epitome of a songwriter's line is, she put him out like the burning end of a midnight cigarette. and that was Bill Anderson wrote that. He wrote that one line for that song.
I didn't know that. I didn't know that, Jim.
You know, it was co-written by 2 or 3 writers, but what a line! Like I mean, that's cold. You know, you just get the feeling of how hurt that guy must have been, and all in one line, and it just set up the whole song. So.
That's a tough one.
That is a tough one,
those
Terry.
are great songwriters, Tom T. Hall, thinking even like Don Williams, all those. Those were all like pros at songwriting, right? I think it's, yeah, I think Dean Dillon, you know, wrote a lot of songs for George Strait. I mean, these guys are crazy. You know who I'd like to know who wrote that song there? Scotty McCreery. It's a song. It's all a bunch of lines from George Strait songs. I'll put into one there. I'd like to know who wrote that one. But that's just so clever of a song to be able to take lines from other songs and make a story with it. Yeah. It'll come back to me once this show's over. But
Do you got one for us, Terry?
Yeah, maybe something a little lighter, sure. A little faster. Let's do something by Waylon. You mentioned Waylon a while ago. I don't sing many of his songs, but I do sing this one here. Let's do "Good Hearted Woman." That's very simple, eh? Yeah.
Love it. That's classic.
We'll do that and modulate later on. So, okay. A long time forgotten, our dreams just as fell by the way. The good life he promised ain't what she's living today. But she never complains of the bad times, the bad things he's done, Lord. She just talks about the good times they had and all the good times that come. Yeah, well, she's a good-hearted woman in love with a good-timing man. She loves him in spite of his ways that she don't understand. Two teardrops and laughter, they'll pass through this world hand in hand. Oh, this good-hearted woman, loving a good-timing man. He likes the nightlife, the bright lights, and good timing friends. When the party's all over, she'll welcome him home again. Lord knows she don't understand him, but she does the best that she can. Oh, this good-hearted woman, loving a good-timing man. Well, she's a good-hearted woman in love with a good-timing man. She loves him in spite of his ways that she don't understand. Two teardrops and laughter, they'll pass through this world hand in hand. Oh, this good-hearted woman, loving a good-timing man. With laughter, they'll pass through this world hand in hand. Yeah. Oh, this good-hearted woman, loving a good-timing man. Yeah.
Terry and Jim, everybody.
I forgot to retune there.
Listen, guys, you guys got a lot of people tuned in. I know that your daughter, Jim, is very proud. She's been on there and she's watching.
Supposed to be working.
Lisa, who else do we have tuned in
have
tonight?
Jason Kelly, Jackie Collette, Irene Sims, Doreen Morissette, Linda Robertson, Teresa Burke, of course, and Julie Collette.
There's quite a pile of people in there tuned on. It's been great music here tonight. It's been a great trip. We're kind of bittersweet. We've got to head back to Ontario tomorrow. It's going to take us. We've got to stop in Quebec on the way. But always nice to come down here and always treated very well.
You've been down for over a week now, a couple of weeks.
Yeah. We got a chance to go out and see Lisa out on PEI.
Yeah, what a sweetheart.
And her daughters were great, fantastic music. And then we got to go to the Johnny Burke Foundation fundraiser, and you're not kidding about a lineup. And I wish Steve would have been here tonight, because Steve's kind of one of my idols. I've watched him for the last few years of picking that flat top, and he's pretty handy at it. He did a couple intros to the music on the weekend, and I thought, Steve, you're just a class act guy, and
he's been doing it for so long. And I mean, I have the honor. I get to play with him. Steve and I are in a trio together with a friend of ours from Captivate, Victor Cormier, which a lot of people know as well. Victor's a very popular.
Did he do the last?
Yes, actually, Vic played at the tribute show, the very first one last year.
Yeah,
so,
that's super talent there. That guy. You guys would be quite a trio to get out there and tussle with.
It's a lot of fun. We do a lot of it's real solid old country. Like we don't do anything older than 70s. We'll throw in like the odd like Don Williams song or something like that, but it's got to be traditional country. Yeah. But Vic does a lot of the old, somebody mentioned something a while ago, Marty Robbins and George Jones and
How is the music scene down here? Is there lots going on? Like, I mean, at home in Ontario, Southern Ontario, the bands and stuff that we have on, like if they're not playing every weekend, it's every other weekend for sure. And there's quite is there stuff going on relatively busy down here that way?
I'd say it's just it changed. I mean, the larger venues are gone, but there's a lot of smaller venues like restaurants and pubs that have music, weekly. So
I don't know if Terry finds the same way. It seems to be like that combination restaurant pub thing.
For sure, it is. It's
the big 6 and 7 piece band stuff now is getting harder to promote. Like, I mean, Scott Delhunty that was with us Friday night. They've got what's the word I'm looking for?
I think they call themselves as a country boy. So
it's like a tribute show, and they're doing it a full 10-piece band. They're able to get the venues, and they've really found that niche for the bigger venues.
It takes a lot of tickets to make it. It's a tough business.
For lack of a better way, you got to put a lot of butts in seats, to pay for that kind of show, and it's worth it. I mean, you saw the type of musician that Scott is, and Paul, I think, is a part of that as well. Coco. But you really got to.
The drummer was pretty sharp there too. I got to tell you,
40 songs in 2 days.
Yeah, he was something to sit back and entertaining just to watch. That was. Now, do you have any gigs coming up, Terry, that you'd like to give a shout out? Do you got any places that you're playing here in the next month or two? And
well, there are actually in the region. Interestingly, some of those are just solo shows. So every now and then I do a show by myself. So the next one will be on November 2nd. In a place called Rishabakto Village. There's a huge ATV rally going through there, so polka run. And they said the bar should be pretty packed, so I'm looking forward to it.
And it's just a single?
Just me and my guitar.
Oh, that's awesome.
I'll have to work extra hard to keep people dancing. At the village? At the village, yeah. The old gun club we call it.
Good for you. Good luck.
Well, thanks. Yeah, there's a couple other gigs later in the month, I believe. So my memory's failing me right now, but yeah, there's a couple other shows. But that's
and you can be found on Facebook. Both of you guys can be found on Facebook. Do you keep up? Like if you got gigs coming up for your trio, Jim or Terry, you guys?
We do actually. That's under the name of Acoustic Tradition is what we call ourselves, the trio. Anything that's posted on there is posted either on my Jim Collette music page or Jim Collette Facebook page. I'm pretty easy to find. So.
Lisa, do you got a question? If you don't, you can think of one for a second. But for those at home, go on to the Facebook pages and the social media of these guys. Give it a like, give it a listen to. I know that I spoke with Terry here beforehand. I'm going to be on to Apple Music for his CDs. Not just one, eh? Terry, you've got a few out?
There are, 3 in total, one under my own name. But there's also some singles released since then. So you will find there is one where I actually wrote a song. It's en français, but a song actually was inspired by when we were during COVID, we were locked in, and so my wife and I watched the series Yellowstone, and I just got a little crazy with that, the cowboy stuff. And so I met up with a friend of mine, Eugene Richard, and we co-wrote this song called "Voudrais pas vivre autrement." And this is just a song about this rancher who's very happy with his lifestyle, and though it's a bit hard to to live it, he wouldn't do it any other way. So that required that I had to learn how to get on a horse and ride a horse. So that was part of the whole deal. So wrote the song, recorded through the studio.
You must have took a big horse.
Yeah, you better believe it. Or a horse with a strong back. So I had to learn how to ride it. Went through lessons and some practice, and then finally we filmed it a couple of falls ago. So you will see a video on YouTube with me on a horse, and so it's a beautiful song. It's got a sort of like a George Strait kind of a melody to it. That was the whole idea. So it's got a kind of George Strait fiddle melody, and I'm on a horse. So there's that, and of course that the remake of Johnny Burke's song, "Judge My Soul Again." So you can find those on the digital platforms as well, like Apple Music or YouTube.
I'll be all over it for sure. Jim, do you got any recordings out? You guys got
nothing recent? We did do. I do have a CD. I don't. I'd have to check with Ray and see if he has it available, like on his venues, on Spotify and stuff like that. But I was fortunate enough to record a bluegrass CD with Ray Legier and two of our friends in Ontario, and we had toured for a couple of summers with that band. And that's the last time I've been in. I'm pretty low key. Most of it winds up being, we were talking about it earlier. I hadn't really played a whole lot until COVID. I'd gone back to bluegrass for a couple of years, and then I just started going back and revisiting a lot of the old country songs that my mom listened to, and that.
Well, you were on fire through COVID online because the followers and the stuff, and it was something to see for us because we monitored our lockdown page, Breezeway lockdown page, and we did some shows, and probably one of the most requested on there from the East Coast. Ray Cormier was another lad that we've tried to get a hold of with coming down, and he was another.
He's a phenomenal guy to just hang out with and
you know him, do you? Because he does Vern Gosden like nobody else.
Jam one evening at a bluegrass festival, and then he's got a big voice. So like between the two of us in a camper, the windows were just he's like a notebook in his brain of songs that he remembers, and it was just a phenomenal jam.
Left-handed guitar player
powerful
too.
Voice. Powerful.
Okay, Lisa, you probably got a question. I cut you off a few times there.
No, I know Terry writes a lot of his own music.
Well, I have, yes, in the past, yes.
Do we get a little taste of that tonight?
You know what? You didn't hear any of my songs. Actually, some of my songwriting. That's right, you did not. So I will have to find something.
Okay.
I will.
All right. Well, we're going to send it back over to you guys. We'll get into another 4 songs here.
I'll let Terry look. Do you have one of your I'll just mess around with something. There's a house on a hill by a worn out weathered old mill, in the valley below where the river winds. No such thing as bad times in the soft southern plains. Oh, Cotton Jenny's her name, and she wakes him up when the sun goes down. And the wheels of love go round, wheels of love go round. The love goes round, the love goes round. The joyful sound. She ain't got a penny for Cotton Jenny to spend, but then the wheels go round. When a new day begins, he goes down to the cotton gin, and he makes his time worthwhile to them, and climbs back up again. And she waits by the door. Oh, Cotton Jenny, I'm sore. And she rubs his feet while the sun goes down, and the wheels of love go round, wheels of love go round. The love goes round, the love goes round. The joyful sound. She ain't got a penny for Cotton Jenny to spend, but then the wheels go round.
Cranberry version is
wheels go round, the wheels go round.
Great.
Thanks.
Yeah.
It's something a little different for me. But the Gordon Lightfoot version is like that long, so it's the Edmund Fitzgerald of songs.
Well, Gordon was known to write some pretty lengthy songs, but they were all very well written. Let's speak of a great songwriter in his time. This is great. If ever you get a chance, I don't know if some of you are into reading biographies, but I did read the one for Gordon Lightfoot, and it's interesting the stories he tells as he was getting well known. And the one that hit me the most is just that he said he would get, every now and then a visit from Bob Dylan. They would sit in his living room and they would just look at each other. They didn't know what to say. They had so much respect for one another as songwriters, but they were almost like freaked out a little bit, in each other's presence and would not say a whole lot.
Yeah.
And just I could almost, either way it was written, I could almost imagine, being a fly on the wall and seeing that. And
Can you imagine?
imagine that. Anyways, I don't place myself in that category, but I have written a few songs over the years, and this one I wrote with a friend of mine, Charlie Burke. This is true country, and actually I sang it the other night, a song called Only You. Really, just a good old country song. You can listen to the words, and you'll hear the meaning of it. So anyways, Charlie and I wrote this one on one day and had fun with it. So we're trying to get a sort of a feel almost like Travis Tritt kind of a feel to it. So anyways, you'll see if we succeeded or not. Only You. A year has come and gone since you left me. The reasons that you gave were unclear. The shock that day was so heartbreaking that I didn't want to live without you, dear. As the months passed, the pain seemed to lessen. I started looking back at you and we did many fun things together. I'll remember them till the day that I die. Only you can know what has happened. Only you could change my life the way you did. Only you could put it all back together. Only you could make it worth living again. Keep strumming there, Jim. I've been living the songs from Earl Haggard. Oh, the lyrics seem to suit me to a T. Good old Possum must have known what would happen, 'cause he would sing about my life way back when. So I'll never give up on you, baby. My love for you will last for all time. And if that means living alone forever, then alone I'll live and alone I will die. Only you can know what has happened. Only you could change my life the way you did. Only you could put it all back together. Only you could make it worth living again. Only you could make it worth living again.
Nice job, man.
Well, thank you.
I love that tempo. That's one of the prettiest tempos.
Yeah, it's a great demo. I have to tell a little story about how that was written. When I recorded my vocal in the studio in Nashville. So I was just the music was already recorded, as it often is. So I was just doing my vocals the next day. A young guy, maybe 25, he was sort of like the tracking engineer, and we were talking, saying I was from Canada, and he had a very thick Southern accent. So anyways, I was just talking with him, and then when I recorded the song, my vocal, I came out of the booth and said, man, he said, see, I know you're Canadian, but when you sing, you sure sound American. I told him, I don't know if it's like that everywhere, but I said, us Canadians, we listen to so much American country music that when we sing in English, we kind of take on that twang. So I told him, I guess it's just natural. We just do it. So he picked up on it. So you kind of sound like us when you sing.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. We used to get that playing bluegrass as well. The bluegrass bands would say, "Wow, y'all don't sound Canadian. What are we supposed to sound like?" Yeah.
You sound so good when you're singing. Anyways.
Where are we to? Oh, where are we to? Right there. I remember saying that. Just sit and listen to all these like different melodies and stuff has brought back songs that I haven't played in so long. Vern Gosdin was probably my mom's favorite singer, so I remember the words. There's the closet full of dresses that I bought you. Here's the key to the new car and the drive. And before you leave our room, put on your best perfume. If you're gonna do me wrong, well, do it right. Oh, the next time the phone rings, well, I won't answer. I don't wanna be the fool I was tonight. I don't wanna see the proof. I don't wanna know the truth. If you're gonna do me wrong, do it right. And if you're gonna break my heart all to pieces, just walk right out and leave me and end it all tonight. Take off your wedding band when he takes you by the hand. If you're gonna do me wrong, well, do it right. Take off your wedding band when he takes you by the hand. If you're gonna do me wrong, do it right.
Wow.
Oh, thank you.
Awesome.
Thank you. There, sing a happy song.
Okay, we'll see when how are we doing hella fast. But those ballads are just so beautiful. It's hard to not do them.
I've always been
Wow.
so attracted to that. I guess growing up playing bluegrass, because it's so much harder just to sit in a jam and somebody sing, well, play a bluegrass song, and you're going like, oh, I got no banjo. I got no, it just doesn't work with just a guitar. So, but I love melodies. I mean, I love words.
You got it, buddy.
Thinking, you were just saying earlier how country just ain't the same anymore, but every now and then there's always a song that comes out, makes a big hit, and it still is country in my standards. So here's one I started singing it, 3 or 4 years ago when it hit #1 in the U.S. We'll just put the cape on first here. A song by Jake Owen, where he goes up and down. A song he called "Down to the Honky Tonk." It's a cool little song. Goes a bit like this. Got a house down a back road, I got a flag. On the front porch, I got a dog named Waylon. I got a driveway that needs paving. Got a boat with a 2-stroke, a couple guaranteed to make you laugh jokes. I got friends, low places. Yeah, life is what you make it. I might not end up in the Hall of Fame with a star on the sidewalk with my name, or a statue in my hometown when I'm gone. And nobody's gonna name their babies after me. I might not go down in history, but I'll go down to the honky-tonk. Got a girl named Sheila, she goes batshit tequila. I got a job, gets the job done. You gotta know the thing is the big one. Yeah. The only place you might see my name is on the wall for a good time call. I'm a local legend on Friday night, and that's ribbon and neon light. I might not end up in the Hall of Fame with a star on the sidewalk with my name, a statue in my hometown when I'm gone. Nobody's gonna name their babies after me. I might not go down in history, but I'll go down to the honky-tonk. I go down to the honky-tonk. I go down to the honky-tonk. I go down. I go down to the honky-tonk. I go down to the honky-tonk. I go down to the honky-tonk. I go down. I go down to the honky-tonk. I might not end up in the Hall of Fame with a star on the sidewalk with my name, or a statue in my hometown when I'm gone. Nobody's gonna name their babies after me. I might not go down in history, but I'll go down to the honky-tonk. One more time. I'll go down to the honky-tonk. I go down to the honky-tonk. I go down. I go down to the honky-tonk. I go down to the honky-tonk. I go down to the honky-tonk. I go down. I go down to the honky-tonk. That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's one example of the more recent country songs. So some are still country by the old standards. So yeah.
Oh, it's still us. Huh?
Oh yeah, we're still at it apparently.
We're on. Oh, is it on? Okay.
Oh yeah.
Okay, I'm going to ask something. He's not ready. Do you have a story behind that guitar of yours?
Oh, where'd that come from? Oh, wow. Actually, I do. But I kind of said a little bit about it. All right, you better get one ready because I'll leak on this one. I've been so blessed to have like my mom and dad really, they pushed me along. They gave me a lot of breaks and a lot of leeway when it comes to playing music. And so my mom always had secondhand guitars and stuff, and they bought me for my graduation, they bought me a brand new Sigma. Back then it was $300 and all they could afford. But of course, time went on. I started playing a little bit of bluegrass, and I got my first D28, and Mom had my Sigma. So as years went by, we moved back, and I wound up getting it back. And during that time, my mom got her first Martin, which was this one. So the story behind this is that it was gifted to my sister my younger sister, who's the one who actually taught me my first 3 chords on a guitar. And we were playing... we were... I played at her grandson's graduation, and she come up to me after and she said, "Why don't you just keep it?" So I thank her and I thank my mom. I say my mom's first Martin. I mean, I basically played every guitar that my mom has ever owned, and this is my go-to. If it's not this one, my poor old D28 sitting in a corner. I'll go back and I'll grab the old Sigma just because I had her when I was 19 when I got that guitar, and then this one here, my mom's always, And again, it's thanks just to my sister. Without that, like I say, she taught me my 3 chords, my first 3 chords, and then she's got my dad's. She has my dad's old guitar, and then
look at the story you brought out on that. Yeah. That was good. Yeah. That was really good.
Every one of my guitars has a story, but this is the one I just tend to go to now. I've got all kinds of guitars kicking around the house, but this is the one right now. It's still early. My mom's passed. It'll be 2 years in March, so this is the one that's in the bedroom, and this is the one that I go to. So yeah, it is.
Yeah.
How about you, Terry?
Oh, guitars. Start off. I'm thinking way back. As a young kid, I was trying to learn, and my parents bought an old Vibra acoustic. Oh wow! I was old, but the action was so high on it. I think it must have been like half an inch off the neck, and I could never learn it, so I gave up. But I only took up guitar playing back at the age of around 16, 17. By then, my father had upgraded to a Yamaha acoustic, which played fairly well. Played that for a while, a couple of years, and sold it to a friend of mine who then moved to Montreal and never learned to play that guitar. He put it in the closet and forgot about it. So about 5 years ago, he came back home for a visit. He said, "Terry, by the way, here's your old guitar back, the old Yamaha. I never learned it." And I looked at it. I think it's the same strings he had on him, like when I sold it to him. So he'd had it over 20-some years, 25 years in his closet. Wow. So I got it back, not a scratch on it. It was like brand new. So this is like a 1985 Yamaha. You look at it and it looks like brand new. I put new strings on it. I think, it's just like memories, right? Yeah. Just learning how to play, very first song, like, "I'm digging up bones." Oh, yeah. That was my first song. Do you remember your first song you learned when you were a kid?
Yeah, except for, like I say, the one when I was 8, my sister taught me the 3 chords to a Jonathan Edwards song, Why I Feel Sorry for the Blind Man, which is my very first song I ever learned. I played bass a little bit before then. Bass players were falling out of the trees in Rogersville, so... but I remember her showing me that D chord, and then I can remember practicing an F chord. Oh, that was F chord on the guitar until it would just pull your fingerprints apart.
Ouch, and then
going, I'm never playing a song in C as long as I live,
And after that, later on, bar chords, forget it. And I was asking a lot, but. We overcame that fear, and through practice and playing, you just do it. You learn.
Now, is that the one you'd show, your show guitar? That guitar, Terry?
You've got some nice guitars.
I got a couple. Like you, I do have. I've got the old Yamaha, and I've got an old Gibson Hummingbird, which I bought out of high school.
Yeah, beautiful.
It's a great deal at the music store. Yeah. I had a Takamine at the time. Didn't like how it sounded unplugged, so I traded it for that Gibson, and got it ever since. It's played a lot of bars. It's fallen, tipped over, and so I showed Jim the other night all the lacquer cracks on it and the gouges.
Scars.
The battle scars on the old Gibson. But every now and then, if I feel for it, like the other night, I was just in the mood to play that because I was just strumming along. It's fine. If I was to, to really, if I need to pick a little bit, this has more a neck like of an electric here. Yeah. Slimmer profile, and it plays a little bit better. So, because I had a hunch I might be trying to pick a little bit tonight, but trying. Good
thing, man. Good thing.
You guys been sounding great. There's no harm in trying to do some picking. So it's been a great night, guys. We got time for 4 more, a couple more each, and probably a little chat on the way out. Is there anybody that you'd like to give a shout out at home that may be watching out there?
I guess for me, because you guys are the ones who brought up, when we started doing these COVID videos, I'm sure you talk to every musician. A musician's got to play, and you can only knock songs off the wife's forehead so many times before she said, "Why don't we just start videoing these?" And it was becoming more and more common. And I said, "Well, geez, I wonder if I could do that." And I started out, I had a crappy old phone, and it didn't sound very good, and I went to using microphones, and guys were saying, "Try this and try that and try this and try that," and I found out that the nicest sound came from just a phone on a stand at the spur of a moment. And I was saying, I've gotten notes from all over the world, and just like some guy sitting in the basement of his home in Parkton, New
And
Brunswick.
how much it means to everybody,
And that's-
right?
yeah, some of the notes I got were like just unbelievable, and I made new friends, from Newfoundland to BC to I got notes from Australia,
We could do-
New Zealand, and
Jim, we could do
Ontario.
10 shows on just the letters that the Breezeway receives at what we do. And like tonight, we'll receive messages
well,
that
and-
the guys that you had on brought back memories. It goes into this, they stream it in old folks' homes and all around
that's
for.
amazing because that's touching. Like someone, I'm sure Terry would be the same. Like I say, a musician has to play, and when your audience is two chihuahuas and your wife, like God bless them, but
Well, we kept
know,
music. We kept live music going
it-
through
it-
COVID
it-
too.
It,
So
it really did, and whoever came up with that the first idea, I know, I first started following was a group on the island, and then from there, it just kind of just snowballed. A friend of mine started an NB group, one that got quite big, and I was just overwhelmed with you think it's your buddy in New Brunswick who put that song out, but then you're getting a note from New Zealand. You're going like, my God!
Did you,
tomorrow?
Terry, did you get very many videos out when the COVID was on, or did you do some home videos?
I did a few, yes, and folks can find it on or find some of those on my profile on Facebook, like the Terry Melanson music profile. There were a few. I wasn't one of those who did it every week. There are some who were quite regular at that. They would every week at a certain time.
Yep.
I would do it, and yeah, I guess at some point I found the pandemic pretty hard, and so I had to pick myself up and said, at some point I was almost not even playing the guitar, and I just. So at some point, I said, "Whoa, pick yourself up and start doing some of these." So I did start doing some of them, and finally it was like kind of like at least it kept us, it filled that gap that we did, we can be with people. But what was really helpful was playing and then getting those comments back.
Yeah,
that felt
was,
so good.
It
Thinking,
was so.
there is a
Well,
purpose
there
here.
is a ton of comments on here tonight. Mary Conrad, one of our most faithful followers there, she's from Texas, and she was talking when you guys got talking about the accent. So if you get a chance, follow Mary's very.
I work quite a bit down there, so I work down around Lubbock. That was like the slowest accent I've ever heard. Just amazing. So I do got to give a couple of shout outs because
Certainly.
especially when it comes to my music page. I've been blessed with a really good friend of mine, Brenda in Montreal. I don't know if she's able to watch, if she's been able to get it live because she's fairly busy with something else tonight. But my friend Brenda Epstein in Montreal, she's the one who actually started my Jim Collette music page, and she babysits that. So if I was slow on getting back to a comment or something, I was sure to hear about it. So special shout out to her and of course, to Jackie. Like if it wasn't for her, I wouldn't be doing this right now. So she's certainly put up with a lot over the years, and
That's a big.
You guys-
that's
you
a big
guys met her.
support.
yeah. Oh yeah. Again, she's the one who pushes me to say, grab your guitar and go down and learn a new song. So.
Well, Brenda's supported me in my ideas so long now that she's coming up with ideas of her own for this.
There you
So
go.
it's
yeah, there you
That's
go.
great.
any shout outs, Terry, before we get back to the music?
Well, I have to say, I think my biggest fan ever has always been my father. I know that when I mentioned that I was going to play, through your show here, I'm sure he's on there watching. So,
Fantastic.
Melanson, I'm sure he's watching. So glad he could be there. He's the one who always supported me, throughout, playing music. And at some point, I was doing studies. Actually, that my line of work is not music, but I had almost quit my university to do music full time at some point, but. Came back to my senses and did that, but anyway, it just goes to show that no, he's been there throughout the whole time, and even my wife. Sometimes I joke, Muriel, that she's my roadie because wherever you see her, she's helped me haul my guitar or bag of cables, or or telling me to shut up and it's time to go home.
Oh, that's awesome.
I got Terry in trouble on Friday night. So I was not supposed to use the word roadie. So I got Terry in deep.
That's all good.
Said he's
And
going
yeah-
to pay for that one.
No, we have good friends out there. Even a friend, Darlene. She's my hairdresser, and also I called her my stylist on the video that we made. She was there helping out, so usually following me around as well. So we have a few out here, good friends and family. So yeah,
Great job, guys. So we got time for a couple more songs each, and this is going to close out our stay here in the Maritimes, guys. And it was great.
I'm gonna do you a maritime song. This is gonna be a little Not so much country as soon as
You do what you need to
untuned.
do, Jim. Once again, thanks so much. Lisa, is there anybody you would like to?
Yes, Carolyn and George that welcomed us into their home. Thank you so much.
Yes, thank you. Thank you.
Yes, thank
We
you.
appreciate
thank you so much. 'Cause this-
And
this
they
really was-
knew they knew Johnny better than they know Teresa.
That's right.
That's fantastic. We've got some good stories from
Yes,
behind
we
the
do.
scenes too. So, all right.
And thank you to you as well for having us over.
Yeah.
Let's put together quickly. I'm glad you could find a venue and that we could make this work.
We were really close. I went over and spoke to the casino, and we were that close of getting this show on the casino floor. It might happen again because once I've started into something, I probably won't back down from it. But anyways, it was nice. We went up to the New Brunswick casino, and they were pretty close to letting us do this on the floor. And I was hoping to drop that to you guys. It would have been pretty. It would have been pretty cool. So, but we try very hard to work for the artists and make sure everybody hit the like button, hit the share button. Guys know the routine and what the Breezeway's up to. So everybody, this is Terry and Jim. We're going to get a couple more songs each from them.
All right, thanks. And again, thanks to everybody. This is actually a Cape Breton song, since you guys are on the East Coast. And tradition is that anybody from the East Coast had to go away to go to work. And, out west and Toronto. I mean, I spent 11 years in Toronto, 19 years in Montreal. And this is a down east song out of Cape Breton, written by a gentleman named Alistair MacDonald. But I learned this from a really good buddy of mine named Cyril McPhee down in St. Peter's, Cape Breton, and going through a bit of a rough patch. But I'm going to send this out to anybody who's ever had to leave home and go find work somewhere else. It's called Heading for Halifax. It's late in the spring, the leaves are all green, and there's dew on the meadow, there's birds on the wing, and over my shoulder the last time I'm seeing the old home all weathered and gray. We talked until 3, my father and me, and the fiddle tunes flowed like the clear Marguerite. Never forget who you are, son, said he, and I followed my brothers away. Now I'm headed for Halifax to see what's to spare in the way of some work. There's nothing there, it's Toronto out west. God only knows where, but there's bound to be friends from back home. There's one thing I know, wherever I go, Lord, my heart's in Cape Breton, it'll always be so. Whenever a fiddler rosins a bow, my first and last thoughts of home. Now I'm headed for Halifax to see what's to spare in the way of some work. If there's nothing there, it's Toronto out west. God only knows where. There's bound to be friends from back home. Wherever I go, wherever I go, Lord, my heart's in Cape Breton. It'll always be so. And whenever a fiddler rosins a bow, my first and last thoughts are of home. Thank you. It's for my buddy Cyril. It's, there. That'd bring a tear to a glass eye, huh?
That's powerful.
I gotta be careful. I said that one time, and one guy turned around and looked at me on the stage. It wasn't a pleasant experience. Anybody out there with a glass eye, I apologize.
Oops. Oops.
I'm not kidding. It happens.
Yeah.
Yes. Oh, geez, I haven't done that in so long. Sonny's drink.
Ooh, that's a special one, yeah, too. Huh? No, not enough. No.
I wonder if I don't have it on here.
But Jim started some here, but I would do some from the Maritimes, so my head was spinning here, and I think well, you know what? I should do one here when I do. Sometimes when I perform, I do take out this song here, one by the Rankin family out of Cape Breton. This one's a fun one, a little faster, so just put like this. Hey, hey, sweet darling, let's go dancing tonight. My clock has been ticking, it tells me the timing's just right. Well, I woke up this morning with a feeling I call a lonesome and blue. Yeah, and there's no need in asking, 'cause I know I feel the same way too. Hey, sweet darling, let's lay the whole thing down. This world, if you let it, will drive you into the ground. Well, I got $20 and I know that it can get us by the door. Oh, when the band starts playing, how can they ask us for more? We may do the bump and grind, shake around out a little behind, do some things that you normally do on a Saturday night. Yeah, that's alright. Yeah, now we may drink a little too much, may lose our fancy touch. Oh, step out of line with reality. That's the way it should be. Yeah, and there's no need in asking, 'cause I know you feel the same way too. I know there's this little part at the end. Hey, sweet darling, a lot of our words have been unkind, but that was yesterday. Why don't we leave the past behind? Well, I know that I love you, and I know that it'll always be true. And there's no need in asking 'cause I know you feel the same way too. How we made do the bump and grind, take a round out a little behind, do some things that you normally do on Saturday night. Yeah, well, that's all right. Yeah, now we may drink a little too much, may lose our fancy touch. Oh, step out of line with reality. That's the way it should be. Yeah, and there's no need in asking, 'cause I know you feel the same way too. And there's no need in asking, 'cause I know you feel the same way too. One more. And there's no need in asking, 'cause I know you feel the same way too. Hey, hey, hey. 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 We gave them a little dose of Maritimes tonight, didn't we, Jim?
I tell you. I tell you. Wow. Oh, you're still looking. There's more, right? Oh, my goodness. Was there any other requests or anything? I'm trying to think.
What would be your most requested song?
Highwayman, Whiskey Lullaby.
Whiskey Lullaby.
Wow, they're throwing songs.
You'd have to sing the high part.
I'm in trouble if I have to sing Alison Krauss's part.
I bet you get asked the same thing, like, what's your favorite song? And oh boy, I really don't think I have one because I'm not a writer. So there's countless songs, from, like I say, Towns Van Zandt or Guy Clark or Steve Earle that have written such great songs. That would be my favorite song. It's just my go-to to go listen to. But like to play, I don't know if I have one. So what am I going to do? I want to thank you guys for asking me out. I'm so glad that it worked out this trip. I was pretty disappointed when I couldn't do it the first go round. So.
Well, you should have seen the excitement on our face. We've been working at it for a few days, and to find a place, and Teresa and these guys, it was. It made it.
Yes, thank you guys so much for opening up your house,
and I hope everybody at home enjoyed it by hitting that like button, hitting that share button, show a little love here. We got one more song from each of these guys, and it's been a great stay in the Maritimes.
Certainly has. Well, thank you guys again, and we hope we get up to see you guys there sometime this summer. We're going to work on it. So.
Well, that's right, and hope to like Jim said, hope to see you again. Whether it's you coming back down here, or if we can find our way up to Ontario,
find our way up there
to where you live. We have this idea in our heads. We're going to see if it works. See if we can find our way out there and perhaps do a few shows or something.
Well, I'll tell you, I hope that the people at home are seeing this and let your promoters know down there that you'd like to see these guys on your jamboree circuit next summer down home. It'd be awesome, guys. It's
for us. So.
Definitely, I love it.
What am I gonna do? Now I'm just a bartender, and I don't mind my work, but I don't mind the money at all. I see lots of sad faces, lots of bad cases, folks with their backs to the wall. But I need 4 walls around me to hold my life, to keep me from slipping away. And a honky-tonk angel to hold me tight, keep me from slipping away. I can light up your spine I can laugh at your jokes. I can watch you fall down on your knees. Burn down this bar. I can gas up my car. Can pack it up. Mail in my keys. I need 4 walls around me to hold me tight, to keep me from going astray, and a honky-tonk angel to hold me tight, to keep me from slipping away. You got something, Terry? Now when the smoke fills the air and this honky-tonk bar, get to thinking about where I'd rather be. But I burned all my bridges, sank all my ships. I'm standing at the edge of the sea. I need 4 walls around me to hold me tight, keep me from slipping away, and a honky-tonk angel to hold me tight, to keep me from slipping away, and a honky-tonk angel to hold me tight, keep me from slipping away. Thanks so much, you guys. Thank you, everybody. Thanks.
Great song, the Jim.
That's
Wow.
old country.
Oh, yes. That would be very sinful to forget my mom, so excuse me, my mom. She's usually busy watching my little daughter, my Westie dog at home, so I didn't think she'd have time to watch us. Okay, all right. Mom, and even a shout out, I don't know if my sister Lisa, she's living in Alberta, if she's even watching, but that would be a little earlier for her, so probably cooking supper or something. So anyways, it's all good. I'm going to do one last one here for my chance, and it's got a little story to it. One of my trips to Nashville, being a fan or a big fan of the group Alabama, their hometown and fan club headquarters is just about a couple hours from Nashville, so it's not any farther than going Moncton to Halifax. So just about every time we were down there, I've gone down to Fort Payne, Alabama. You see, monuments of the guys, and they have a fan club there and a museum, which shows all their awards and nice guitars they had. But at one point, the nice ladies at the counter, they would give us tips. Look, hey, the singer and one of the guys, they live on this road. So they gave us a map. That was cool. And I was standing in front of Randy Owens' house, the main singer, and he had, I guess he loved this next song I'm going to do so much that he had engraved he had a nice like a steel entrance, and it says "Feels So Right." So one of his first big hit, I think. But I was more to it on one of those trips. The lady said, "Are you into coin collections?" I said, "Not really," but she said, "Well, Teddy Gentry, one of the band members, has got a coin shop next door, so maybe you want to drop in." And the guys are with me. I said, "Well, they're on the road. I know because I get the newsletters, right? The band's touring, so there's no way." But you know what? Lo and behold, walk in the shop, and who was standing behind the counter? Teddy Jenner. He said, "Oh boy!"
No,
Just happened they were home for a couple days. Wow. So I got a chance to chat with him for a few minutes, and he was a really nice guy. And he said, "Yeah, at that time we were just shopping around, looking for a studio." And I said, we're just looking around." I said, "Yeah, they'll take good care of you in Nashville."
Listen,
but anyways,
Terry, before you start, I just want to say thanks, buddy. This has been a real pleasure. Thank you so much. We've never had the chance to do this before, so
I hope it's the first of many because
I sure hope so. I sure hope so. I've thoroughly enjoyed this. So thank you guys for bringing us together, because it probably wouldn't have happened, within the next little while. So I really enjoyed it, man. So
likewise. So. All right, here's one of my favorites. There are quite a few favorites out there, but this one really hits hard. A song called "Feel So Right." Whisper to me softly 3 words upon my skin. No one's there and listening, so please don't say goodbye. Just hold me close and love me. Press your lips to mine. Ooh, feels so right. Feels so right. Lying here beside you, I hear the echoes of your sighs. Promise me you'll stay with me and keep me warm tonight. So hold me close and love me. Give my heart a smile. Ooh, feels so right. Feels so right. A little modulation. Your body feels so gentle, and my passion rises high. Your loving me is so easy. Your wish is my command. Just hold me close and love me. Tell me it won't end. Ooh, feels so right. Feels so right. Feels so right. Oh, it feels so right.
Fantastic job, guys.
Jim Collette and Terry Melanson.
Thank you so much, guys. That you just put the icing on this trip down here to the Maritimes for us in the Breezeway.
You come back anytime.
Thank you very much. I'd like to get you guys. I hope to see you guys in the summer. It'd be awesome to see you. So everybody, do us a favor. Hit the like button. Hit the share button. You know the routine at home. And who do we got next week? I think we've got Sean Savoy and Still Pickin' Country next Tuesday night.
Home.
But yeah, we're back home in Castleton, and Sean Savoy is he's been on the show about 8 or 9 years ago, and he's going to give it a little bit of try it country music here. So we can't wait to get back into our studio back in Castleton. Everybody, hope to see you there. Anybody else you'd like to give a shout out? to everybody that's been super nice, the Johnny Burke Foundation, Lisa for hosting out on the island, you guys here, thank you so much. It's made a great trip for us, and all you guys.
Thank you guys.
Thank
That
you
was
guys. Thank
awesome.
you. Really, it's been a pleasure.
Really
To see
was.
these guys to see these guys just with the bare acoustic was something else. That's my kind of style. Although we seen you with the best backup band the East Coast could offer.
Kind of fun.
Yeah.
Fun that way.
So
Teresa Burke, thank you.
yes, thank you,
so much.
Teresa. Anybody else? Are we forgetting anybody? Because we're.
I hope not.
I hope not too. Okay, tell them who we are there.
We are the Breezeway.